Everybody. It is 8:07. It took me this long after the newscast just to get to a point where I could sit down and chat with you. Just running around like crazy. I apologize for the tardiness, but here we are, and this is Coffee Talk. So, as the title alludes to, we are not only tracking very heavy rainfall, but we're also tracking a flash flood warning. That flash flood warning is in effect for Volusia County. That flash flood warning is in effect until 9:45 this morning. It not only has been pouring in Central Florida, but after a week of pouring rain, enough is enough. Here's a look at that flash flood warning and where it is located. It goes until 9:45, and there are 37, almost 38,000 residents that are impacted by this. I will add that our Doppler radar has shown rainfall amounts, and I'll zoom back in. Our Doppler radar has shown rainfall amounts running about 4 inches of rain, but some rain gauges in the area have been showing rainfall numbers upwards of 7, 8 inches.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I was just updating
All right,
something for
make
Coffee
sure
Talk. I appreciate it, bud. So obviously there is a big concern in this area. So let me do this. Before we get to any more of the radar stuff, let's just take a minute, and I want to pop up one of our cameras and just kind of take a look and show you kind of what we've got, okay? Because it's a situation where, you know what, give me a second. Of course. Give me a second. I'm going to do some of this on the fly. I think I can pop up. I'm going to try and switch computers here, because this computer is obviously giving me grief. F.take. All right, so I'm going to switch over to Max 1. That should work. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what you're looking at right there, that is one of our DOT cameras. This is in Ormond Beach, and you know, a couple of things on this. First off, the water has come down just a little bit, but looks like a car just went off the side, right? Like, that's never a good thing. But it you know, it just kind of shows you how slick the roadways were. I'm going to go through some of these other traffic cams, and we're just going to look around together, okay? This is kind of in that spot. Look on the right side of your screen, and you'll clearly see how the road is draining fine, but it's draining into that swale, and those swales are starting to fill up with water. Kind of see the shoulder there on I-95. This is all kind of in the Ormond Beach area. This is State Road 40, at least if it works. That camera's not working right now. Some of these are working, some of these are not working. This is near Daytona Beach. Let's come a little closer to Daytona Beach, just kind of checking it out, let it load. The swales are holding, at least on our major roads. This is 40 at Booth. If it loads, it's not going to load. That's fine. 415. This is 415 at 44. So this is right near the New Smyrna Beach Speedway there. This is 415 at Taylor Road, which is Dunlawton. And, you know, the road's slick there. I'm trying to see if that's water kind of on the roadway, if that's like ponding. You see there on the far left side, let me move this little box here. You can see right there against the fence, you know, the ditch is holding water, but I can't tell if it's just the camera or not. But, you know, there's obviously some rain that has fallen in these areas. This is Williamson at Bevel, I-95, kind of in that area. So for the most part, we're fine on the bigger streets, right? It's just a matter of the smaller streets that we have the most concern. So let's do this. Let's get right back over to our first warning live Doppler radar, which means I'm going to have to switch computers around again. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just kind of doing all of this on the fly. All right, we'll do that. We'll hit OK. All right, so back to our first warning live Doppler radar. And there's almost like a little spin there, like almost like a little vorticity maximum, but very heavy rain falling still. And then up into Flagler Beach, as a matter of fact, we're watching some of the rains coming down. Let me look and see. Flagler Beach, any good deal? I'm just looking on the other computer to see if there's any decent DOTs It looks, I mean, I could show you heavy rainfall. You know what heavy rainfall looks like. I'm just making sure that there's no flooding or anything. All right, so we're okay there. But Flagler Beach, and then it's still pouring down here across central Volusia, right over 92. This is very rural. This is out in the middle of the forest there. And then you get over toward like the DeLand Airport and downtown DeLand. Wouldn't surprise me if we, don't start to see some flooding in this spot as well. All right, so how much rain have we been talking about? Let's just reset this and come in a little close. This is Doppler radar estimates, okay? Actual numbers are going to be running a little different, but 4.3 inches of rain, 3.6 inches of rain. So from Tomoka Estates back through Ormond Beach, torrential downpours in the area. I had somebody ask me on Twitter just a moment ago, what do we do to stay safe in a flash flood warning? And it's like, well, stay dry. That's what you do. So again, flash flood warning in effect for coastal Volusia County. That runs until 9:45 this morning. If you live in that area, you just need to obviously not be out driving. That's the big concern here. Ryan says 5 inches here. Let me do this on another computer. Of course, I can't show it to you. National Weather Service, all sites. I just want to pull up a couple of different sources and get an idea of how much rain has fallen. And I can't show this to you like live, but I can try and get some data here. All right, so yeah, I mean, Ormond Beach, I see quite a few spots in Ormond Beach, like Tomoka Estates, right off US 1, I've got a weather sensor at 8.21 inches of rain. 8.21 inches of rain. So it's no surprise to me, right near the airport, 5.86, 5.35. So it's no surprise to me why the National Weather Service went ahead and issued this flash flood warning. Are we getting any of this on the West Coast, Plant City area? There's some showers, but it's nothing like this. So let me come back over to our wide angle on our first warning live Doppler radar, and it'll kind of set the stage. Now, if you live in the metro, we're good for now. There are plenty of rains north, though. Let me lapse this and kind of see, like Plant City, no, you're fine. If you're up into Marion County, we're starting to see some of those showers developing and kind of moving through, and then into like Sumter Lake County, watching those very heavy downpours kind of sneaking on through. Leesburg, Tavares, Eustis, some of the heavier stuff. But for now, it's and continuing to see here across Volusia County. Yeah, all right. So that's kind of where we're at. Flagler County, we're going to have to start watching you for the concern of flooding in the next few moments' time. And I would also add that from the National Weather Service, they issue these things called mesoscale discussions. And they did issue a mesoscale discussion this morning. And one of the points of reference for this mesoscale discussion was that there is the concern for some flash flooding and that small-scale extreme rainfall rates are possible. So when you start hearing and seeing language that looks like that, obviously that's a concerning stance, we'll say. Okay? Make sure nobody's popping in here. We're going to go, bear with me. I just want to go and walk into the newsroom and just check and make sure that we're sending the lab out and we're doing all of those things. So bear with me, you guys. This is the part of Coffee Talk where we're actually, I actually have to work. Just want to make sure I'm live. So for situational awareness. Yep. So he's taking the weather lab out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was at an event trying to cover something, but
okay.
He's coming back.
Okay.
He's going to take the weather lab out.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll be able to get some live pictures. What times for the cut-ins?
At this point, it's just getting video for later shows.
Yes.
And then we may not be doing cut-ins. It's just a matter of we have to watch and see how it evolves. So
we would only go on air if there's an emergent situation that happens.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so we're on standby for it. But either way, it's a big enough thing that we need to get some video because, like, I was just looking at the weather gauges and there's like 8 inches of rain this morning.
That fell. Fast. I remember when we first started, it was like 1.2.
Right, it was nothing. Right. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Thank you. All right. So yeah, I mean, 8 inches of rain is a remarkable number. So all right. So suffice to say, small scale extreme rainfall rates. That was what the Weather Service said, and I really don't love that that's kind of playing out, but that's playing out. All right. All right. So that said, questions, comments, concerns. Now I can read some of your comments, and I apologize. It's been a busy day. Tamara says, seems like most of West Volusia is better off than the east side, but it was raining when I woke up at 4:30 and stopped a little bit ago. The dogs are not happy. Yes, definitely coastal Volusia getting the lion's share of the rainfall this morning. Absolutely the case. That's why they're under, particularly around Ormond Beach, that's why they're under the flash flood warning. So here's kind of the radar loop just to give you, an idea of what we're looking at here. So there you go with the scattered showers around. All right. Yeah, field trip. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to stop for today. Well, yeah, I mean, if you've run into flooding streets, that's a whole different scenario. My husband's cousins came in for vacation last Sunday and stayed in Daytona. I feel so bad for them. Weather hasn't been favorable. It is not. No, it is absolutely not. Let's see here. Yesterday I had a backyard. Today I have a lake. Mr. Bob Newell says, "Hey, shoot me an email or a tweet with the radar, or not with the radar, but with the site." Yeah, Jennifer says just inundated. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know if my rain gauge isn't working. I have less than an inch in Palm Coast. Let me just look. Precipitation. I mean, in Palm Coast, there hasn't been a ton. I'm looking at some of the official readings here. Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a ton in Palm Coast. I see in Palm Coast a half inch. Yeah. This is like last year when Ian hit. I mean, it's a little different, but yeah. It's called a picture. Thank you, Frank. You can get Buc-ee's if you're coming this way. Oh yeah, gotta love that. My front yard has finally started to dry out some, and I didn't know I was going to get nearly as much rain as others. Yeah. Is this blob coming across to us in Denellen or getting pulled apart? It's fading as it gets out to you, but there's showers definitely moving there. So yeah. So what's going on here? Why all of this chaotic rainfall? Let's take a look at the wider perspective and just kind of analyze it a bit. There's an old front sitting over top of Central Florida, and that old front is and has been supplying us with moisture, with rain, with clouds and showers and gross weather, all the things you don't want to deal with. So for today, stormy weather. Just like yesterday, just like the day before, we're going to continue with this pattern. But tomorrow, we start to watch that line move more and more south. And as it does, things are going to look much better by Monday. Tomorrow, we're still going to keep the moisture around, but Monday, Tuesday, the rain chances start to drop off a little bit. When's the rain? What's the rain doing for the rest of the day? I have grand opening today in Claremont. So Kristen, first off, Mazel Tov, congratulations. So the 12-hour forecast for today does show, and it's important to note that the overall rain coverage this morning is really not that high. And we're going to be at about a 20% or so coverage of rain the next few hours. That's about where we're at. Maybe we're at a 30% coverage right now. But by about 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we will start to see higher and higher coverage of rains around. Okay, and as that happens, we'll of course have more and more people dealing with this. Hopefully, it won't be flooding, but we'll have to watch. The end of the day, we've just seen so much. Hold on a second, the boss is texting me. Just shoot her. Sorry. That was why I was late. Was just coordinating with the boss. The news director is the title. So just making sure. I love y'all, but she's the one that signs the paycheck. Yes. All right, I need to just run out to the newsroom real fast. Bear with me 1 second. Hey, could you shoot out a push alert on the app just about the flash flood warning?
I will try my best.
Thank you, thank you. If you run into an issue or you can't do it, as soon as I'm done with coffee talk, I can effort as well. Okay. I'm surprised we finished all our lawns this week. Well, and there's going to be plenty of rain, at least in coastal Volusia. You're going to be able to get those lawns watered. Who is the boss technically over weather? What does Tony do differently as the chief versus the rest of you? You know what it is when it comes down to it, Tony's the one that kind of organizes the coverage plans within the weather department, how we as a weather team do things. But as far as like an actual boss, it's Steph. She's the news director. She oversees the entire newsroom. So, all right. Questions, kind of where we're at now. Any questions about anything? So, yeah, so in terms of the storms this afternoon, let me dial up the Futurecast. This is definitely all over the place this morning, and I apologize. But on a day like today where we just have such a kind of a developing weather scenario and we're just covering it, it's the best we can do. So here's Futurecast doing a great job of showing the rains this morning along the shoreline. Let me just back this up a little bit. How long does that linger? According to Futurecast, we should start to taper that off by 10, 11 o'clock. That's good news. Then by about 12, 1 o'clock, you're going to start to see more storms bubbling up through even the interior. 4, 5 o'clock, widely scattered showers and thunder showers. 6 firing up out west, 7 o'clock continuing, and then tapering off by 8, 9 o'clock. So for my friends that are heading out to the UCF game, I'm going to be there too. And I'm going to be doing the weather there. Don't get mad at me if there's rain, okay? Doing the best I can here. Showers around for tailgating. Storms around this afternoon. We're going to be watching the radar closely. I'm going to be posting as is needed, but I can tell you that it's going to be a damp day. We just have so much atmospheric moisture in play. All right, so just plan on it, okay? Just plan on it. New event, flood advisory. Okay, so there's a new flood advisory for Flagler County. Let's get right over to our first warning live Doppler radar and check on that. Give me 2 seconds. I knew that this was going to happen. That heavy ribbon of moisture up that way, it was just a matter of time. Yeah, so here's that, and it includes Flagler Beach, it includes Palm Coast, and it includes about 82,000 residents. All right, Palm Coast, Beverly Beach, Flagler Beach. Let's take a look at the Doppler radar and see, according to the radar estimates, we're closing in on, at least in some spots, Flagler Beach, about a ½ inch of rain, 3/4 of an inch right near Palm Coast. So, yeah, it's really something else. It's really something else. Very, very heavy rainfall. We still have that flash flood warning that's in effect. And I got a text from the wife just now. She said, OMG, the flooding in Port Orange. Hold on 1 second. Are any of your friends getting flooded? ? I'm doing coffee talk right now, and I've been talking about it all morning, but I haven't gotten anything other than people mentioning it on Twitter or traffic cams, period. Trying to use those contacts. By the way, if you all have any pictures of it, I'd love to see it and share it with our viewers just so that they know kind of the scenario that's happening there. Try and stay dry, everyone. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. Mario's asking, with all this rain, I'm glad I'm off home watching football all day today. Go Gators. And I will tell you, if you're a Gator fan, the forecast up in Kentucky looks fantastic. Temperatures in the 70s, bright sunshine, low humidity. That's good stuff. That's absolutely better than the forecast here locally. All right. Weather Prediction Center putting all of us under the threat for flooding rains later today. I just want to take a look, by the way. I know you're going to make fun of me about ADD. That's fine. You can do that. I just want to look and see if any of our DOT cameras are showing I'll swap it out too, so you can see as I'm going through these DOT cameras. Switch it over to max 1. Hit OK. All right. So what we're looking at, I'm just kind of going through. That's I'm going to go into Flagler. Whoa, wrong one. And you, by the way, you can check these traffic cameras as well. You're not going to get a full speed thing like we have because we have fiber, but you can check them as well. That's 95 and mile marker 287. If you go to fl511.com is the website, you can check these traffic cameras as well. But let's take a look at that. That's mile marker 287, which is up near Belterre Parkway. I'm just kind of looking around. That's 286. Kind of look and see. Yeah, I mean, it's raining. That much we know. But I want to come further south and get into Volusia. That's 278. We're just going to kind of go through the line together. 278. See what's doing. That's into Volusia there. 276. The boss doesn't like us doing mile markers, but I'm literally just looking. That's 274. If I see something of note, I'll point out where it is. This is kind of an interesting shot. Look on the right side, and you can see the swale's nice and deep. And in Florida, we are really good at handling big rains. But you can see this swale, for example, not as deep. It's plenty handling the rains, doing a fine job of it, right? But flooding on the side streets is definitely more of a concern. What do we have here? All right, so they're pulling. This is the shot that I was showing on the newscast earlier. That's I-95 and mile marker. What is that? That's 271. So that's out near the airport. That's out near the Ormond Beach Airport. Out near Chelsea Lakes, Harmony Avenue, Durant's Lane, kind of in that area right on I-95. And they're still pulling that car out. Not sure how that car lost track of things, but you can see just how full that swale there is. All right, let's keep looking on. Just going to keep going through the traffic cameras. I just want to look and see, make sure everything's kosher. You can see, though, in the middle of the road there, like there's obviously very heavy rainfall. Keep going. That's 267. We're looking good. 267. Yeah, obviously, you can see the street sign there, Holly Hill, Daytona Beach. We're getting into Daytona. It's 266. 265.1. Looking good here. I want to look in the Port Orange area because there was all those reports of flooding. That's the Speedway. There's I-4. So we're going to be wanting like 258. 258, 257. All right, let me do that. 258. 257, 256, that's fine. 255. I'm just curious if we see anything. Some of these cameras are working, some of these cameras are not working. 254, let's see, 253. Loading, yeah. It's amazing to me how Florida does a great job of draining things. 252. Look and see what's working, what's not working. 250. Yeah. All right. So Florida does a good job of draining things. Hopefully we'll be able to get that flash flood warning expired. 249. Then I think we're getting out. Yeah, but you can see, I mean, that's the 44 exit there. So we're down to New Smyrna Beach at this point. All right. All right. Questions. This is the kind of day to binge watch your favorite stream shows and games. Oh my gosh, right? Or go to a UCF football game and say, don't care, even if it's storming outside. even if that's the case. But yeah, we're watching the threat for flooding. Very late babysitting. I have 2 1-year-olds. Oh my dear God, Taylor, I'm sending you all the love I can. Good gravy. All right. Any other questions about our local forecasts? Any questions at all? All right. Before we move on to the tropics, which we will, just a reminder that for about the next hour and 15 or so minutes, we are under that flash flood warning for Volusia County. All right. This is a graphic that we have up in the Weather Center. We've had it up in here for forever. It's just like a situational awareness graphic. It's just when there's real big deals. It usually kind of has that map I was showing you, but when there's advisories, significant situations, it gives us that drop down. So flash flood warning, Volusia County, that goes until 9:45. Okay? Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's look to the tropics. Not much, thankfully, not much doing out there. Okay. We've got, of course, Philippe and we've got Rena. Both of those storm systems are behaving. They're going to, do their thing. Of course, we've got, when we look at the tracks, Philippe actually could become a hurricane as it curves away. Rena will fade. So that's the good news there. Now, as far as the computer models go, let's take a look. Let me dial that up. All right. This is a look at the raw GFS. 2 seconds. I'll pop you up. All right. I'll bring it full screen and I'll go to the basin view just so that we can compare. All right, basin. And there's the Fujiwara. You see Rena kind of going up and around Philippe. Rena fading, and then Philippe getting lifted to the north with a weakness in the ridge. And Philippe could be strong for a while. Look at how it's just sitting out there for a while, right? October 9th could have a little storm system fire up along an old front. You see that old front over Florida / the Carolina Outer Banks, something there. And then watching the Gulf of Mexico here, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, 15th, something out there, right? Now, if you've watched Coffee Talk for a while, we've been kind of talking about this on the BSR. Interesting. Let's switch over to the European. All right, and there's Philippe and Rena doing their thing on the right. What I think is interesting is the Euro is really bringing Philippe a little closer. Still safely out to sea, but a little closer. And then after that, something of moisture on an old front around like the 11th, the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, kind of showing broad low pressure, but nothing organized, which is fine by me. And then the Canadian. We got Philippe, we got Rena out east of us, going out, just lowering pressure in the Caribbean around the 8th and 9th, and the 10th, and that's as far out as it goes. Does the Canadian ensemble go out further? Kind of does, but not much. All right, so interesting. Now, I know y'all like talking long range, and part of the long range is the BSR, so give me a second and I'll finding all kinds of little hacks to do things on here. Y'all push me so much. All right, here, video, BSR. There. All right, so there's the BSR, and obviously there's that little storm system there that's kind of interesting toward the end of this run, right? Like backing it up right there, something, and that equates to the middle of October. So if we watch something there around the middle of October, in that time frame, right? Like we know middle of October, and then we switch over and look at the computer models. they kind of have something in that vicinity. The GFS had it, the Euro had it. And then if we look beyond that on the BSR, a little something. Where's my phone for calendar purposes? This is, what is that? That's October. A little something around the 18th, a storm system around the 18th. Frontal boundary. Another storm system. This one looks, yeah, that end of October one doesn't look like it's going to do much, though. But, could have a couple of interesting little short waves moving through Florida mid to late October. October could be an interesting month of weather in Central Florida, at least if the BSR plays out accurately. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything, anybody, anything? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Then will it be cooler? Andy's asking, yes. The BSR pattern does look like it's favoring some cooler temperatures. Yeah. All right. I liked when you had the calendar and trends. Where's that calendar? I'll get Yukon. I can barely keep my dang head up for air today. I got flash flood warnings. That not enough? Doing the best I can. You're like my wife. Not enough. Need more. UCF cancellation. Better not. Better not. Better not cancel today. I'm going to be there doing the forecast pregame. Better not cancel. We can have short waves as long as they aren't strong. Agreed. But it would be an indicator that come spring, could have some nasty stuff around. So, yeah. Could have some nasty stuff. All right, friends. Flash flood warning until 9:45. Coastal Volusia County. It's still raining cats and dogs in this area. It's still raining. It's still raining. It's going to lighten up, I think, a little bit. The heaviest of the stuff is now kind of lifting into Flagler County, but that flash flood warning still in effect until 9:45. There's the live radar sweeping through. All right. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will be monitoring the forecast for you through the day, posting, tweeting, all of the things. All right. Be good, y'all. Take care. Bye.